Oh, that's in.
This was just a highlight reel, bro.
Your vacation starts the
Hey, that's points. Nice. All right. Hey, Angle community, we are going to the G League Ignite against the South Bay Lakers game today, and we are seeing three prospects: Izan Almansa, Matas Buzelis, and Ron Holland, three of the potential top 10 lottery picks. Andrew, what are your thoughts and what are you looking forward to?
So a lot of what we're looking forward to today is going to be where these guys are, where these guys are going to place in regards to like what we think they're going to go for in the draft. And then also what we're looking at today is potential, NBA comparisons for them too. So similar to what we did with the Isaiah Collier video as well. But we have a bit more work to do today because there's three guys to keep an eye on as opposed to just one. So, we're going to kind of hopefully divide up the work. We're still looking to see if Matas Buzelis is going to play or not because he didn't play yesterday. So hopefully he does get to play today. But either way, we're going to do a full in-depth analysis of everybody that does play. We'll also keep an eye on there's a couple of prospects that are on the South Bay Lakers too, but we're mainly here for the G League Ignite today. So Mitch, who do you think is going to do the best out of those three?
Man, I would have to say Ron Holland because of his aggressiveness. So a little bit before the game, I think Ron Holland kind of comparisons to someone like Tari Eason, a very high motor guy, doesn't have the most polished offensive skill set, but is able to make an impact in the game through his sheer aggressiveness and defensive instincts. Matas Buzelis kind of reminds me of someone, I don't want to say Doug McDermott because that it's not really, It doesn't do service to Matas, but he is kind of passive. He is a very reliable three-point shooter. He has some playmaking chops, but he's not the most aggressive. Izan Almansa, I've seen comparisons to John Collins. But from what you've seen, Andrew, what are your initial thoughts on these prospects?
So the one I'm most curious to keep my eye on today is Almansa, just because I actually don't know too much about him. So he's probably the one I'm the least familiar with, which is why I want to watch him really closely today, so I can get more of a good first impression on him, as well as come up with a more accurate analysis. Buzelis I'm more aware of, and then obviously Holland too. So just looking to see if Holland truly is that super versatile, lanky forward that obviously so many NBA teams covet this day. And then if Buzelis does play, we're looking to see, how much of a great scorer and playmaker he's going to be, and how much he's going to be able to space the floor for the Ignite too. So that's the fun part of today is just kind of discovering brand new in regards to Almansa, since I don't really know too much about him, and then just trying to look to confirm some things with Buzelis and Holland too.
All right, with that being said, we look forward to seeing the game, and we'll give you an update shortly.
Scotty! Got big Scotty here too. Hey-oh! Summer King legend!
Three votes, round one.
Nice. Here comes the bloodlust right here.
that was his fault.
He won't protect the rim. All right, just got back from South Bay Lakers versus G League Ignite. The South Bay Lakers with another big win, 150 to 126. No Matas Buzeles in this game, unfortunately, but we did get to see a lot of Izan Almansa and Ron Holland. So let's start it off with Holland first. Mitch, what were you seeing from Holland today? And let us know about his stat line, too.
All right, so I have some notes that I took. Ron Holland finished with 25 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 of 4 from 3, and 5 turnovers. So my notes, he's really great finishing off the curl and seeking for a shot. He has a very star-heavy mentality, but I don't necessarily think his skill set is there. Player comparison, I'd say, is kind of like Zach LaVine. He's very shot-hungry, but movement-wise, I'd say he's kind of more like Tari Eason in the way he moves.
Mm-hmm.
He's not as defensively sound as Tari Eason, but he does like to gamble. He tends to lose focus on defense and boxing out, and when he doesn't get the steal successfully, he kind of just fades away and doesn't really get back on defense. What were your thoughts on Ron Holland?
So the number one thing, let's say the number one con that I noticed was of not a very tight dribble. He had a propensity of just dribbling straight into a group of people and would usually bounce the ball off someone's leg or just straight up lose the handle and let it go out of bounds. So that would explain the large turnovers today. And then there was a pass game this season too where he had 11 turnovers. So all of that usage and shot hunger does come with the expense of having a good amount of turnovers too. I loved the three-point stroke, though. The three-point stroke looks amazing, as well as just the overall athleticism and just that, like I described this in a tweet too, that bloodlust that seems to take over for him when he's got a lane to the basket and he's got the ball in his hands as well too. Great stuff that I saw out of Ron Holland.
But in terms of Izan Almansa, he had a pretty subpar game, but he almost did finish with a double-double. Andrew, I know you went a little bit more heavily on him, so what were your thoughts?
So for Almansa, we definitely witnessed the lesser of his 2 games. Yesterday, he had a much better game. I think he went for like 22 and 10 yesterday. But today, 11 points, 9 rebounds, 4 assists, which is good to see, and 1 steal. So let's key in on the assists real quick. The one thing I did notice is that he does not look lost when he has the ball, especially in transition. He's very good at finding his outlets, and he's very good at finding his cutters too. So this is a big man we can actually expect to see some passes from. One thing I did notice is that he got absolutely dominated by Colin Castleton. So if you're in a dynasty league, a deep dynasty league, like over 20 teams, actually let's say 30 teams to be safe, you should have Colin Castleton on a roster if he's on free agency at any point. This guy has a great 9-cat stat set. But back to Almansa, though. So Almansa definitely lost the rebounding battle against Castleton. I wanted to see more from him on the rebounding side. And then I saw almost no shot blocking, too. There was no real rim protection of any kind. So it seems like Almansa might be more of an offensive center. Something like, on the upper echelon of this comparison would be like Vucevic or Wendell Carter Jr., I don't know how high of a level of prospect he is. He might be, closer to like a Bobby Portis. Like when I thought about the playmaking too, even though he doesn't play the same way, the stat set of Isaiah Hartenstein could be comparable to what Almansa potentially does. Not in the way that they play in real life, but more so their fantasy stat set, just because Hartenstein can get some assists too if he has the minutes. So, not the best game from Almansa today, but he did have a better one yesterday. And it just seems like that G League team in general, they don't really box out at all. They're not really communicating at all with each other. And that's a big reason for the 24-point loss too. So
I do want to say about Izan, he is a great communicator on defense. Yes, he does have those physical limitations of, an undersized center. But I saw him communicating, pointing teammates in the right way on help defense. Yep. And he's also very capable in the fast break, breaking the press. He's able to kind of know where to pass the ball and move forward. So he is a high IQ player, and not all of his, positives are seen on the box score. So just keep that in mind.
Yeah, I would say that would be the best feature I've noticed from Almansa today is the high IQ. Whereas, if we flipped to the other side with Ron Holland, it would have been all athleticism and a little bit less IQ. So, a bit of a balance between the two today. I still wish we could have gotten to see Montas, but we'll try to keep an eye on him with some upcoming games for the G League Ignite are going to be playing in before we do, a whole podcast covering the different guys that we've seen in greater detail, as well as following up on the games that they've been in since we saw them live too. So that will include Collier, Holland, Buzelis, Almansa, and then we'll probably try to mix in a couple of other prospects there too.
All right.
Very good.
Angle out.
All right. Later, guys.